Welcome everybody.
Yo, that is an intro.
Yeah, we got it fucking fine tuned to the best of our ability with our limited brain capacities.
I love that so much.
Welcome
my favorite.
everybody. We're here at Such Good Shoot. As you can see, I have been left to my own devices. Shane and Dozer are not with us tonight. They are on a trip. It's Christmas time. They're going to New York, and they left me home alone. Oh my God. I am joined today, of course, by good friends Anthony Blackwell Jr. and Joe Schinkel, the premier Joey K.
You got two PA boys up in here. It's about to get crazy.
Yeah.
And before we start, I want to get this out of the way because it's not fun, and I want to have fun tonight. I just want to take a minute to say, if anybody out there, any of our friends, anybody at all is struggling with any sort of just mental health issues, with depression, struggling with anything like that, and you need somebody to talk to, even if you don't feel comfortable talking to any of us or anybody, you know, there's the numbers. Go out there, get some help, get talk to somebody. Please take the time. People give a shit, and we want to say rest in peace to Daphne. And yeah, that was a really, really shitty moment, and we're gonna drink to her and just say that, yeah, anybody who's struggling out there, you're not alone. There's somebody's got your back. I'll be that somebody if I have to be. So.
Also, wrestling fans, be better. Don't be on any woman, just let alone wrestlers' comments. Just not thinking they're legit people. Like, they don't need to be told they don't look like they look like when they were 20, or commenting on weight, or just don't do it. Because that stuff takes effect to a lot of people too.
Hell yes. Yeah. Just be good. Just fucking, you know, it's okay to have fun. It's okay to fucking become, but like treat people with respect in general.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, we'll move on to, I mean, it's better news. It's still stupid news, but it sounds like Triple H is out at NXT now. Which is a weird thing to say. But yeah, Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard are taking over, which is
excitement. Excitement's coming.
Yeah. Let me hear your predictions. I want to hear predictions for some of the storylines that we'll be seeing in let's say 6 months to 8 months from now, going forward on NXT for any of the belts. Anything crazy? Do you see anyone fighting over, I don't know, fucking a stuffed animal, or the right to be the first one on the big slide at the playground?
Here's a crazy story. They're gonna get this guy who is a serial killer, and he's going to kidnap everyone, right? But we don't know what he actually does. They do come back alive, but they're traumatized. So you do the math. And then he kidnaps people, particularly a girl, and then she falls in love with him. I think that would be a crazy storyline. That would be really out of the way. Oh wait, that's happening on NXT.
Oh God, already? I haven't been watching recently because it's just all been like, what the fuck? But they that is almost like a Lucha Underground storyline with like Mariposa and fucking Sexy Star and Marty the Moth Martinez.
Yeah,
like they kidnapped Mariposa, or they kidnapped Sexy Star and like tortured her in a basement for a while. And like she would, like, anytime that Marty the Moth would come out, she would like huddle in the corner and like cry, and he would flap his moth wings at her. It was fucking weird, but it's Lucha Underground. But yeah. So yeah, that's.
I don't know. Do we even know who's going to be in NXT within the next 6 months? You said like 6 weeks. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
Like,
well, they did just announce the first class they were signing for NXT, which included, I believe it was Rikishi's youngest son.
Yeah,
PA boy. He wrestles a lot up here in Allentown.
Yep.
At WXW. I was at WXW's first show back, and he did a run-in to save his cousin. Alpha Junior, and well, no, sorry, Lance Anawahi. He runs in to make the save, and I thought it was one of the Usos because they have the same arm tattoo. They have everything like it, and then I realized that they have even younger brother who is this guy. Looks great in the ring, great look. I mean, he looks like his brothers, but he's super talented.
Yeah.
Dude, that's legit. Like, yeah, the Samoan dynasty that's happening outside of, you know, your mainstream WWE or anything is amazing. I mean, from like Jacob Fatu and MLW down, like they're all like just absolute killers. I love it. But damn, like you almost feel like, yo, are they gonna ruin this kid? Like, is he gonna be just, you know, that's what they always do with Samoans. They always build on the family name. Like that's all they care about.
I think. I mean, yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, I think right now with the amount of money and attention they're putting into Reigns, and you know, like if anyone has a shot, you know, I think he might. They have. You know, I think the one who they booked who's probably got maybe the most upside has, I mean, he's a big hoss, but will probably get fucked around the most is Ben Buchanan, who's the son of Bull Buchanan. He's 6'4", 250. He was a high school.
He just made the cut by 4 inches.
Yeah, he's a high school wrestling champ in Alabama. He was undefeated in his weight class and fucking like in the 2019 to 2020 season. I mean, he's got the lineage, he's got amateur skills, and you know, but because his dad is a former real wrestler, they're probably gonna fucking shit on him, and God only knows what they'll call him.
It's really interesting, the landscape. Some of the reports out right now are a lot of talent want to leave. That Triple H is encouraging it because he knows it's gonna suck. And there's a lot of people who were really passionate and really enjoyed that NXT brand and they were ride or die. And one of the leaders is the first one rumored to be saying I'm out, and that's Johnny Gargano.
Yep, and we were talking a little bit, and I think that, you know, then someone else that just right on right on his heels has got to be Tommaso Ciampa, because he has made it very clear throughout his whole career with WWE that he wants no part with the main roster or anything to do with those guys, and I don't think it has anything to do with the wrestlers on the main roster. I think it has more to do with who runs it. And I think if those people come to run NXT, I don't think he wants to be there either.
Yeah, I just read that he tried to clarify his statements about that and said it was more about the schedule and the travel going main roster, which I see as a part of it. But I mean, read between the lines, he's going to get buried. He's going to, so many before him have been. So like,
I mean,
and you can't even use the small man excuse, because you know your first 2-time champion or double champion goes up there and gets squashed. Your Karrion Kross goes up there and becomes something from Mad Max. So it's not always the small guys that are getting. It's kind of like the older class, like the Romans, that they all got the pass, and this younger generation just can't seem to catch a break.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it has to do with Vince and all these guys who run Raw, you know, Pritchard, and their egos. You know, they read, you know, like Vince might not, but the other guys all read the dirt sheets. Pritchard reads all that shit.
He reads it, but then he's too much of a yes man to tell Vince that people outside of the world are thinking his company is garbage.
But I think also part of it is that he knows that fucking, like, he can't do something better than that. So the only option is to make the thing that's better worse.
Yeah.
And so that's the plan, is to go in there and be like, yeah, we're going to fuck this up. People enjoy it too much.
Yeah.
And it's making us look bad. And it's like, you guys are fucking so stupid.
So who, if they were to make releases, let's just say they do a generous 10-person release right now of the roster, not just saying NXT, who are some people, are some names that you're concerned for?
On the whole roster?
Mm-hmm.
God, I mean, anyone's open. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely think Johnny Gargano would be on that list. Um, I can't imagine. I can't imagine him being anywhere near the top of the list of people they want to keep because he's like kind of the prototype of all the people that Vince loves to make fun of.
Yeah.
I'll put Cesaro on that list. I think that's a guy.
You think they'll cut him even though he just re-signed?
They did it in the past 2 years. Didn't the Good Brothers sign like 3-year or 5-year deals, and like 8 months into it, they cut him.
Yeah.
So I think that they're looking at the big picture. They made it very clear they want stars under 30, over 6 feet. I mean, Cesaro's getting up there in age.
Ziggler.
Yeah.
Ziggler's a company guy. He does the behind the scenes stuff. Cesaro supposedly wants to do more training stuff. But he I think he's a guy that they keep just because they know if they let him go, he's a rocket ship.
I just wonder. I mean, because when we talked to Mike Chioda, he seemed to be pretty convinced that a sale to Disney was happening. So
yeah,
and if that happens, all bets are off.
That's the thing is like
outside of your top draws, they're and I'm talking like you got to be Roman Reigns, you got to be Bobby Lashley. If
I just trying to picture how a company like a wrestling company owned by Disney would operate in any way. Like there's like I can't even imagine what like the library, you know what I'm saying, the content library and access to it would look like. Like would they like you're just like
Disney still owns Peacock. I believe, right? Like that's isn't that part of the huge dirge? Like they have when Disney bought whatever it was, I thought there was like they own Hulu, they own a few different other things.
I think Fox deal, right?
Yeah,
they bought Fox, NBC, Universal. I think they're still separate.
I think it's still separate of that.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I mean, it's very weird because like you have them on Fox TV advertising NBC, Fox, and it's just like it's a very weird. And I know that like Fox was pissed about that, and like there was a lot of back and forth between them. So yeah,
Fox is getting mad. They're promoting their pay-per-view that's not on their channel.
That's crazy. The whole thing is fucking crazy. But
too many hands in the pot.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of what it comes down to, And I think that well, we might as well just jump into some of these general questions that I have written down here on this scrap of paper, because I think that's a good lead into it. Is like we're in a really good era for professional wrestling right now in a lot of ways, talent wise, like option wise. But is this right now the best era? If it's not the best era, what is the best era in professional wrestling?
Hands down, this generation, this era we're in right now, is the best era in professional wrestling. They maybe character-wise and some mic skills were not there, but when it comes to just raw talent and the fact that we have television wrestling on every single day of the week, they're not getting the numbers of an old school Attitude Era, but the fact there's so much outside of just one company to watch or two companies is exciting.
And people don't watch TV the same way. I mean, it's if you look at the numbers that they did in the Attitude Era and you compare them to like numbers that people were doing when there was only 3 channels that you could watch, and like looking at numbers of like I don't know what the fuck Howdy Doody, what I'm saying? Like I guarantee you like numbers for those shows were fucking.
And do they combine the numbers of people who've watched physically on cable or satellite along with DVR and or people who DVR'd it, or even people who streamed it on like a Hulu or something?
No, because I don't think you can. I don't think the Nielsen ratings count anything other than live viewing.
Yeah, and if people aren't watching it live through a cable box and they're watching it through a stream service like a Hulu Live or a YouTube Live, that probably doesn't factor in.
No, not usually. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it really is like.
And how many people are watching a pirated stream on a TV show?
or
So,
watching through a VPN or whatever, like to get. And that's the thing is like everybody watches in such disparate ways now that like that
you can't track
comparing.
live TV the same way.
Yeah, you really can't. Like I think better analytics, is honestly, is like looking at, you have to wait like a week and then look at what YouTube clips, what the actual viewing numbers are on like a clip from a show. Like it seems like a better metric of to like what the show has done. You look at like, oh, CM Punk like coming back and like, yeah, the ratings for that even were like they were good for like today's standard, but then you like go and look at how many people watched it on YouTube and it's insane.
Yeah, I think that
how many people watched on YouTube, how many people were there live, how many people that night is bigger than just what TV metrics show.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, let's be real. That kind of proves the point right there that they can't track those metrics because it did a good number. I mean, and especially a good number for Friday night at 10 p.m. But at the same time, did like the YouTube clip blew up like a couple million views in hours. I mean, and then there's people like me. Like I was at Ring of Honor Glory of Honor night 1 for Friday night, so I knew being at that show, I'm not going to see it live.
Dozer,
there he is.
Welcome. Dozer's here.
I like that.
So my hosting duties are almost pretty much done. Dozer, we're talking about the best era in professional wrestling. Do you have an opinion on what the best era is?
They all suck? No. They're all very different. And
I think it was posed as the best era to be
always
a fan,
gonna,
right?
Oh, just the best era in wrestling.
Yeah. You're always going to be partial to whichever era you grew up in. Probably the first era you're exposed to is going to be your favorite. Attitude was my first. Attitude, I think, is one of the best, but I'm biased. The early 2000s, post-Attitude, pre-PG, the Ruthless Aggression era, didn't suck. It was good. If I was a little bit older, I'd probably be like, fuck yeah, man, early 90s, 80s, that's where it was at. Well, let's be real. Nobody's really clamoring for the early 90s.
Fuck you. I was a doink mark like you wouldn't believe.
I watched the rise of Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels during that time.
The premier Joey K was actually disappointed when Doink pulled off the fucking makeup and it was Chris Jericho. He's like, God damn it, I wanted Doink. This is bullshit.
So he's the one person who marked out for Doink during the Money in the Bank 2 years ago.
I was hoping for Dink as well too.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't have Doink without Dink. I was just at a conference another conference, like a con before a show, and there was 2 Doink the Clowns in the building. There was Doink the Clown, and then there was the Brooklyn Brawler, who has been known.
I was going to say, of course, Steve Lombardi was there.
Yeah.
He
was sharing a table with Marty Jannetty. It was the best thing ever.
Oh dear God!
Yeah, it was
a lot of blow on that table.
It was Brooklyn, Marty, and then next to him was the Nasty Boys and Jimmy Hart.
Oh Jesus Christ!
And the Nasty Boys were just telling embarrassing Marty Jannetty stories the entire time.
Yeah, it sounds.
So I'm fairly certain there was just a rule: don't let the drug dog near these tables.
And then next to them was the Godfather. So there was a lot of
Oh, Godfather, good friend of the show. We love Godfather.
Great friend of the show.
Yeah, Godfather and Dozer gargle whiskey together now. That's
apparently that's a thing that I do. I don't get it.
I can't do it, dude, unless you want to see me like fucking throw up. But that's only on our OnlyFans.
No, that's the OnlyFans.
For me, one of the best eras, like nostalgia-wise, I love the Attitude Era. Going back and watching it, it's nearly unwatchable. There are matches that are great, but like for the most part, it's really fucking bad. But
there's a lot of shitty matches.
Story. Yeah.
Well, they focus all on story, yet the commentary for the most part is terrible.
Yeah, I will say once they fire the cat or whatever, and then Jerry quits, it was a lot better for a while. Like it really was. Like it's kind of incredible how much he fucking ruined like the watchability of that show. And as a kid, it was like, oh, this is hilarious. He's talking
He's
about
making
tits.
tit jokes for
Going
3
back
hours.
and watching,
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ! But anytime they get someone like Paul Heyman on there, even like Shane McMahon on there, like those, man, I miss Vince McMahon on commentary. That was like one thing Vince was fucking great at. His fucking play-by-play was awesome.
Absolutely. Like I think with the eras, it's so hard. Like I grew up obviously like Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Randy Savage, that late 80s run. That was my first exposure to Attitude Era when I was a teenager. So for me, like that sticks out. And yeah, a lot of that shit is unwatchable. It's fucking terrible. But you have to remember at the time, you're switching between two shows. So when you got that shit, like I don't remember a lot of those shit matches because I was switching to something slightly less shittier happening. But it was so cool because I was going back and forth.
Well, and WCW was always on a match. They were never talking about the match.
Yeah.
But there was always a match on the show.
Exactly. And so it kind of played off each other. But I think this era, like talent-wise, like you're seeing shit that's just doesn't compare to other eras because it was just not something even thought of. But the accessibility, there is wrestling on TV every night of the week. Like that's ridiculous to me. The fact that I grew up in the era of tape trading too.
Right.
Like the only way you get to see shit from Japan is, you're tape trading with somebody, you're mailing shit out, you're waiting for a package to come in, like that kind of stuff. So now it's like, oh no, shit, I'm just gonna throw on the Fire Stick. I got New Japan World. Oh, what's happening tonight? I'm still up at 3 a.m. So fuck it, I'll just watch this card. Like it's crazy. Like
I'm not sure what part of Pennsylvania you're from, but do you ever talk to some of the old school people that were a little older during the ECW era, and because we lived in Pennsylvania, we had like it was more or less on TV for us, in some places not everywhere, and they would tape it and put it and that they made a killing on the tape. Say ECW helped a lot of people in Pennsylvania with tape trading.
Oh, for sure. I was there, dude. That's the hardest part about going to the 2300 now, because it's like, man, I remember this place was a real shithole.
I'm so outnumbered by you Pennsylvania people right now.
Yeah.
So wait, real talk, Dozer and Joe, you guys like grew up near each other?
Fucking same town, baby.
Where exactly are you from?
Norristown,
PA, baby.
All right. If I told you where I'm from, you probably never heard of it, but I'm near Pottsville. I'm between Pottsville and Hazelton. I'm in School County.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know where you're at.
Yeah.
Look, I went to school in Kutztown. I was almost run over by a Mennonite man.
Nice. I was saying I live maybe the town right outside of Pottsville, Frackville, and I go to Deppin's Brewery all the time.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Dude, I lived up in Berks County for a while, so we'd always travel up that way. So
look at this.
I know what's up.
Yeah. PA, baby.
Yeah.
The PA clan. It's good. It's good. We're building a little family, a little rapport here. So so talking about the best, there's a lot of opinions on who I'm sorry, I've been slacking. Anytime you see Nat, this is Nat. I forgot. We have to drink if we see Nat. He's a little shit. I don't feed him on Thursdays just so we can get him all amped up for the show and get us drunk. But speaking of the best, who do you guys think there is one wrestler all time that you can put at the top of the list? Is that even possible? Oh man! All right.
We have an answer already.
Let me just pull up my Zubaz.
He's got your Zubaz. So Dozer's like the Road Warrior.
I was like,
and our
HP Hard. Is he still? Where's he at now?
No. If there's one wrestler who we're going to call the greatest, it ain't anybody we've really ever watched many matches of, and that's fucking Gorgeous George. So much of modern wrestling has come from what he started and the character he created that you gotta call him the greatest.
I don't. You can call him the greatest.
I absolutely can. I just fucking did.
I heard you.
Can you hear me? I just said it out loud. Your ears working?
They are. I heard you. That's why I said I don't agree. What do you said HBK. You think HBK
all day long.
All right.
Not as a human during his career, but as a pure talent.
They're professional wrestlers. Yeah. I can count on probably what, one hand the number of like incredibly like good human being, like great human, like I would say probably
Mick
what,
Foley, John Cena. That's
Mick
about
Foley,
it.
John Cena, maybe DDP, Mark Marrow on that list of like good people.
It depends on at what age you caught him, you know.
Yeah, exactly, totally. But
Like,
yeah,
I feel like Mick never in his entire life was an asshole to anybody.
no, Mick is like the sweetest human being of all time. Like,
Yeah.
goddamn, dude, he fucking loves dressing up as Santa Claus so he
Yeah.
can make kids smile.
There's two people on this earth that I feel may be Jesus reincarnated, and it's Mick Foley and David Grohl.
I
Yeah,
can get
yeah.
behind
Go
that.
with
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a
Shit.
bad list. So I'm sorry. Did you hit me with one, Joey?
Joey.
Did I hit one? No, I haven't.
Yeah, I want to know your goat, your top of the mountain. And if you don't think it's possible, you can tell me. You can be like, that's just not possible to have one person be in this business.
Okay, so true answer, yeah, I don't think it is possible. Like, we said a little while ago, like it's the style. It's, there's so many different things. What era do you pull somebody from? Who's doing what? Personal taste, character taste, things like that. So, but gun to my head, I'm gonna say Ric Flair. I've always been a Flair guy, and you know what? The biggest thing about Flair, yes, amazing on the mic, everything with the Horsemen, like his entire career is legendary.
Still rides the subway.
Just yeah.
That's the Long Island Railroad.
Dining on that first class meal. So but he put more guys over, because you have to remember there was a time period where, there's a reason Flair's 16-time world champ. But
He's going to be 17. He's going back for the NWA. He could definitely be Trevor Murdoch.
Yeah.
Apparently anybody can except Nick Aldis.
God damn it.
Oh Jesus. But like he put so many guys over. You were made if Ric Flair put you over, doing the 60-minute match somewhere in bumfuck Iowa, hey, it's an NWA title match, and he made some guy out there who's like a legend forever. That's where I stand on it.
It's hard to argue Ric Flair. Totally. No, but it's hard to, I mean, that is like the first name that comes to my mind when you're talking about a wrestler, like the greatest wrestler, greatest like professional wrestler. And other guys who are obviously bigger stars, like Hulk Hogan is obviously, in a lot of ways, probably the biggest star professional wrestling has ever produced.
It's crazy. I even as a little kid, I could not buy into that type of character. Like, I'm just like, it's like I'm 3 and I'm like, this match is boring. He's gonna Hulk up and beat the guy. Like, this dude never loses. I hate him.
Oh, he was boring as shit, but like.
But as a kid, even kids were like, "This is the greatest." But I was a kid, like, "Give me Macho Man."
I never watched TV until probably especially wrestling, until it's probably like 11 or 12. Yeah. And even as like a 4-year-old who never watched TV, like hippie ass parents, I knew who Hulk Hogan was. I knew who he was.
Yeah.
I had no like it wasn't like there was internet. It was just like I didn't even go to like preschool and shit. It was just like somehow.
Yeah.
That shit just is like in the popular culture so much that it was like, and
you did see Thunder in Paradise. That's it. That's all you got.
But it was like it was
that Suburban Commando, baby.
Suburban Commando, all of them, man. But it was hard. Like, it's hard to. I mean, The Rock is I would say at that cultural level now, but he's not. I don't see The Rock as being heavily associated with wrestling anymore. Like Hulk Hogan was always a wrestler. The Rock is an actor now. The Rock has been an actor. The Rock will occasionally do a wrestling appearance, but he's not a wrestler anymore.
I think the last time The Rock was considered a wrestler in a movie was The Tooth Fairy.
Can you give John Cena that nod, where he's still a wrestler and movie star now?
He's still a wrestler.
He's still a wrestler.
But you wouldn't give him the nod for as a big name movie star now?
I would say he's transitioning really well. I think the latest Suicide Squad is I think
He's getting his own TV series on HBO.
yeah, I think but I think the Suicide Squad that he just did is really like, I mean, that was great. He did a really good job in it. And I think like Batista's Drax, like I think that's going to be the thing that gets him.
Yo, his new zombie movie was awesome, dude. After watching that zombie movie, I was like, I want Dave Bautista as Marcus Phoenix in Gears of War movie. Right now.
Yes,
Yeah, like I need that in my life.
Yeah, I hated the movie, but I loved Batista in it. Like none of it made any sense to me. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
There's two wrestlers I want in the Gears of War movie. I want Marcus Phoenix as Batista, and I want Coltrane as Keith Lee.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think both actually. Out of I think you're right. Cena is like right there. He's like next level. Rock's transition.
Yeah.
I read something about how he has so much pull with like Warner Brothers and shit now that he can just override decisions. He wanted Black Adam to be part of like the Snyderverse, and like they're like, well, we'll see what we can do now.
He's a draw.
Yeah, he runs shit in Hollywood.
He's a draw, dude. I mean, look at that smile and tell me that fucking like there's not money in those teeth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is like when it comes to like there's a couple
PA boy too.
Yeah, but and speaking of that, another guy who's a PA boy and one I think should be in the conversation for greatest wrestler. Now, maybe not the greatest professional wrestler, but I mean, really should be in that conversation. It's Kurt Angle.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Tony Depp and Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, no, fuck that shit. No, but
I was going to say Salvatore Sincere.
You know, you look at his career. You look what he did in the Olympics. You look at him transferring to professional wrestling with basically like 6 months of training, if that, and taking to a fish like in one of the most incredible in-ring talents.
One of the best rookie years too.
Yeah, and it's like he should be in that. Granted, he didn't have the same impact as these other people, but when it comes to just pure goddamn talent and like just understanding every little bit of the business instinctually, like that guy had it. So
yeah.
So I guess that sort of leads into the next one I wanted to do is like the big who do you think had the biggest impact on professional wrestling?
I'm going to be a smartass when I say this, but I kind of mean it as well. I think the art of a good heel is underutilized. So we always talk about Hogan, right? And Hogan was this big over thing, but I don't think if Hogan was partnered up with Iron Sheik at that point in time in his career, I don't think Hulk Hogan goes over as hard as he actually did.
Break your back, make you humble. That's
I think Iron Sheik should get a lot of credit in the Hulk Hogan start.
Yes. Well, I mean that without him getting the belt off him, then yeah, like where is Hulkamania? Yeah, Sheiky Baby, and a Sheiky Baby, another still is impactful. We still, if Shane was here, we would
fuck you Tuesday.
We would have done Sheik of the week, but Shane's off gallivanting this evening. So
yeah,
but yeah,
it's got to be. I think when it comes to revolutionizing, there's three names that really do it. You have to talk about Cena, you talk about Hogan, and you're talking about Stone Cold. I think they're the three that like if you look at the era of NBA,
those are in a lot of ways those are the biggest names of their generation. Dozer kind of seem, I think you in a lot of ways already answered this with Gorgeous George.
Yeah, I answered with my prior question. I copy paste.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's sort of what I thought. What you got, Joey?
I guess kind of the obvious answer is not even an in-ring talent. It's Vince McMahon. Yeah. If Vince doesn't do what he did and take it mainstream national, and yes, he stole from the territories and he did all those things, but without that exposure, do we even have anything remotely close to what we have today?
Yeah, but once again, every hero needs an anti-villain. If Stone Cold doesn't have Vince during the Attitude Era, that storyline doesn't blow up.
Yeah,
that's very true.
So does that mean it's Bret Hart that becomes that? No, I mean, I'm serious. Is like because without Bret Hart being a prick and refusing to drop the belt to the person who owns it, like rightfully at the end, like we don't have the public fucking Vince being a villain and like him almost being forced into that position because he didn't want to be the bad guy there. I mean, he even came out and was like, that was the whole Brett screwed Brett thing and like all that stuff. He like tried to make Brett look like the bad guy. And then when that didn't work, it was just like, I guess I got to do it. And I mean, that blew up. And once that blew up and he was making shit tons of money on it, he ran with it. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Vince McMahon was sort of the obvious choice in my mind.
Also died in Pennsylvania. Vince McMahon.
Oh, rest in
his
peace.
limo blew up. Him inside it in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
I have two other answers of people who really changed and had, like not always necessarily for the best, but I mean Chris Benoit I think is an obvious answer for somebody who really changed the business. His like his death and the whole murder and all of that I think really changed the way the public perceived it. I think that was like, sort of the, up until the recent resurgence, that was really the beginning of the end of professional wrestling being a mainstream cool thing. And, it was when they really started paying more attention to chair shots, headshots, traumatic brain injuries, and really just restructuring the way wrestling is done. Taking a lot of the blood out of it.
Now,
all of those things.
Would you go back in time to change that so we keep wrestling the way it was the entire time? Or do you accept for what it is because it is a safer project or a safer product for people so they don't go through things like that and get this severe CTE?
Oh, no. I mean, I watch professional wrestling. People like, oh, why don't you watch UFC? Every now and then I will, but the reason I watch professional wrestling is because I don't want to see people get hurt. Like I genuinely don't want to see anyone get bad.
Severely hurt on purpose.
Yeah, like I don't mind. Like I love watching like like a hard hitting match where like they're snug. Like I don't mind that. Like I enjoy that, but I also like want to know that these guys like main objective is to keep each other safe. Like there's something about that like makes it feel like at least I'm not watching like just pure blood sport.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, like I think the idea of like protecting these guys and making sure that they don't end up in a situation where like, yeah, they're broken, their bodies are broken, they're mentally fucked up and like they've got nothing to like fall back on. It just is. But I think the other answer for me, another answer for me is Andy Kaufman. Is another person who had a huge impact. I mean, talk about the first like huge celebrity like guest wrestling and like what he did to make wrestling mainstream with, I mean, Jerry Lawler on fucking Letterman like multiple times, like some of the best Letterman segments of all time. Like really like brought some light and fuck, dude, like 30-40 years later people still were thinking that shit was real. Like there was like talk about fucking just selling it. Like Kaufman, goddamn dude, he went in there and
Kaufman took a legit ambulance ride out of the stadium when Jerry Paul drove him. Like he sold it that he goes, get a legit ambulance, call an ambulance. And they're like,
and he wore that neck brace everywhere. And yeah, I mean, it was I mean, talk about just a great, like somebody who understood the business, wasn't like a good wrestler at all, but like he realized all he had to do was get on the mic and talk a lot of shit and get people riled up enough where they wanted to see anybody kick his ass.
So I have a name for you for possibly, I mean,
right.
but it's hard to say they're the greatest of all time because they still have some juice left in their career. But if you want to talk about how, no, you're close though. I personally think this person is the guy who sparked a movement like the Elite, and he just made his return to wrestling after 7 years. I think CM Punk's speech, his pipe bomb, even though it was 100% scripted and planned.
He's got them all, dude.
Yeah. I think it changed the way people look at wrestling. I think it changed. I you know what I mean. But the thing that the Elite did with a Cody and a Bucks and they took his words and said, instead of taking our ball and going home, we'll go get our own court. And I think a lot of that, what he did and what he sparked and what he spoke about, changed professional wrestling to what we have right now. And the fact that we can turn on TV all day long and there's a wrestling on, or the fact that we can go and subscribe to Fight and watch thousands of hours of wrestling, or go to IWTV and watch thousands of hours of wrestling.
You can watch fucking, man, they got Ohio Valley Wrestling is free on fucking
YouTube. It's
on
everywhere.
Roku, on
Yeah.
like all of it. It's great, dude. It's everywhere. Like
CM Punk kind of put the light on, saying like some of your best talent in the world is wrestling in a high school gym this weekend. And like he made people pay attention to wrestling more than just the company of WWE. They went back and they're like, I need to become a smart fan so I can understand this stuff, you know?
And that's where I'm going though with the Elite, because never before, we've had territories before, but I don't think we've ever had them cooperating like this.
It's pretty crazy, and who knows what's coming. Is that Shane?
No.
Who jumped off? Oh, DDJ is driving and talking on the phone.
It's really fucking dangerous.
Damn it! God damn it! Well, as long as you're drinking.
Hey,
as
my hands
long
are
as
on
you're
10 and 2
drinking-
right now. So
Oh, you're getting pulled over. I see the lights.
As long as you're drinking alcohol, it's okay.
I drove by
all
too.
right.
Someone else getting pulled over.
As a member, as an official member of the Dark Order, I don't approve you driving while chatting.
Danger. Oh shit. Okay. So we've talked.
So hold on a
bit.
second. I got to say this. How did a PA boy miss out on this song when he's going on about CM Punk? I mean, how do you not play this one here?
It's not on my buttons.
He's only got 5 buttons available. Hey,
You hear that drum hit? You hear that drum hit, baby?
Oh yeah, I know what you're doing.
You got look at that. Look at your signatures.
I got 5 and I got 10.
Nice.
Oh. Yeah, I knew someone who thought he was 11. But.
I actually met them and I said, can I take a picture or two in the pose? And we all, like my podcast team and some of the behind the scenes of the company we were working for, got in with 10 and 5. And Jillian Hall sitting at a table. I'm like, Jillian, get in this. You're in the Dark Order now. So Jillian Hall got up and did it with us. And we tweeted it. And then the official Dark Order retweeted it, like said, join the Dark Order. Yeah.
Oh shit. All right, so we talked a little bit about McMahon changing the business. We also talked about Hogan changing the business and being impactful. So, age-old question, a chicken and the egg kind of thing. Who made who? Did Hogan make Vince McMahon, or did Vince McMahon make Hulk Hogan?
Bruno Sammartino made them both.
Oh shit! All right, god damn.
That's the real answer. That's yeah.
Coming with the fucking fire, baby.
No. He's coming with the marinara.
Oh, the marinara, the sauce. The
I have a really cool graphic novel comic about it's called The History of Pro Wrestling. It's a graphic novel comic book. It's really, really good. And one of the artists who did it is actually, he did the Tony Schiavone book that's coming out really soon that I kickstarted. And I'm getting a lot of really cool bonus features for kickstarting that because it hit like a $40,000 goal. So
nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
It drops this November.
That's awesome.
That's yeah. So I mean that is a great answer. Does anyone else have an answer that can top that one?
Well, I think that Vince paid Hogan more than Hogan made Vince, because Hogan was already like an established star. He was well on his way in the AWA. But when Vince McMahon had a chance to get him, he got him and he took him to that next level. So I think it's more that Vince made Hogan than Hogan made Vince.
Joey, you got an answer? That's a good one.
Yeah, it is good because, man, that's a hard call because that was actually the first domino to fall. That's why we get to today where Vince thinks he makes stars all the time, But the reality is he did take an established star from a pretty large territory, and and going back, yeah, Bruno made them both. Vince doesn't get to the point where he gets to make his star, as he's calling it, and without Bruno, I mean, that's a genius pick.
Yeah, I think that is Dozer. You got something?
Gorgeous George.
Gorgeous.
Now, on this one, I was going to go with Bruno. I was actually going to say Bruno, and then somebody jumped faster than I can.
No, good.
Because I'm
glad
slow.
Thunder got stolen.
That's
It's okay.
That's okay. We like that. It makes us. It keeps us humble. It makes us
It's fun. It's fun when you find out who you're on the same brainwave length. Yeah, waves length. Yeah, I can't even fuck it. I'm high and drunk right now.
Yes, that's the SGS
I'm
way.
cross-faded right now.
Fuck yes, dude.
Intoxicatingly entertaining.
Yes, absolutely. That's the catch. So Attitude Era overrated. I think we sort of touched on that already. So I'm just going to skip that one because I do think it's overrated. It was fun, but we already did.
A lot of the stuff in the Attitude area, really, when you go back and watch it now, most of it doesn't really age well.
Puppies!
No. Okay, so going back a little less far, Brock Lesnar ended the Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania 30 in a pretty shocking moment. If you fantasy book the end of the Undertaker's streak, what do you have happening? Who ends it? Do you think that was the right choice? Yes, no. Where do we go? Where do you go with that?
No.
DDJ, you say no.
Who should have?
Yeah, go.
Book it.
I'll be honest with you. It should have been Bray Wyatt at 31.
Oh,
Okay.
we're talking about a fired WWE employee beating the Undertaker streak.
All right. That's a hot
Crazy.
take. That's a hot take. What do you got then, Mr. Blackwell?
I think it goes down exactly the way it went down. I like Brock is the absolute clearest best choice there. My bias side wants to say Shawn Michaels, but we don't get that amazing send off for Shawn Michaels if it doesn't go down the way it goes down. It had to be it had to be Brock. And Brock has definitely since then have passed that torch and tried to put other people over as well. Even though sometimes it may not look like it, but I'll touch on that in a second. But no, I think it's 100% Brock. Brock definitely beats the streak.
Right.
I see it. Brock was perfect. I disagreed at the time with it, but it was perfect. The only thing I would have changed about that is I would have had The Undertaker end there. The streak ends, he ends. The streak is what kept him going.
Yeah,
and if you asked me to book this 5 years ago, 6 years ago, however long years ago that happened, I probably would have said Kane because it would be more poetic.
I'm cool with that.
Even though their WrestleMania matches tend to suck.
Yeah, I was one of the few people. I mean, I was watching with two good friends, both of which are huge Brock Lesnar fans, myself included. Brock Lesnar's top 5 all time for me. And I jumped out of my fucking chair. I was fucking screaming at the top of my lungs. I was so excited. It's one of the few times I've literally lost myself in a moment watching wrestling from my couch at home, completely shocked because it was one of those things that there was zero expectations of Lesnar to win that match. I don't think anybody went in saying Lesnar was going to win that match. And anyone
I don't think Paul Heyman was expecting it.
Yeah, and it was just such an awesome moment. People were pissed, and I think that just made it all that much better. It was perfect, and I agree that was the way it should have been done. And I don't have anything or anyone that could top it because love him or hate him, you look at a guy like Lesnar, and he legitimately could kick the fucking shit out of anyone on that roster.
Yeah, I definitely want to say real quick. I was someone who was very, very against Lesnar for a long time, and then listening to a lot of podcasts and people speaking super highly of him, and people I actually respect. That's why I listen to the podcast with their interview. His goal is at the end of he comes in, he does what he does with his I'm only a part-timer, and then all the smart fans think they're reading into something that's all they're just being completely worked. Like Brock Lesnar worked every smart fan that entire run because they put it into the story where he's only a part-timer, and people were legit crying and upset by it. Then he comes in and cleans house in that Rumble, and everyone's like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't care if you think you're the smartest fan in the world, you were screaming at your TV, this is why I hate WWE. And then Drew McIntyre kicks him out of the ring, and a star is born after 3 years of booking.
Yep.
A star is born, and unfortunately we have COVID, and the guy gets everything gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I totally agree, and that's the thing is, like, if you have a guy like him, you have a guy like the Undertaker. The Undertaker passes his torch, which is arguably one of the most important, like, respect torches in the business.
Yeah, there's not another name. When the gong hits, you're fucked. I mean, Kane's music hits, but still people beat the shit out of Kane. He was a monster, but he became somewhat human.
The glass breaks.
Breaks, but that's still a thing. But like I'm saying from like a true monster.
The
TV static.
You hear Brock's music, you're like, I'm dead. I'm gonna die right now.
Oh yeah,
like,
Brock absolutely though is one of those guys that's
by the way, we make fun of Cena's 5 moves of doom. Brock Lesnar basically sits there and goes, yeah, I'm going to German suplex you for 10 minutes.
Dude, that match with the fucking like 19 suplexes to Cena. That was them killing Super Cena.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we didn't really realize it, but you look back now, what happened to Cena's career trajectory in WWE after that match, and it was it. That was
humanized
him.
him.
Yeah, and and it was great. But it was great. God damn, dude, took him to Suplex City, and it was just fucking.
That was the moment that WWE acknowledged Cena's going to be big as fuck, whether he wins every match or loses every match.
Mm-hmm.
Cena lit that torch. Cena passed. That was a passing of a torch moment. How do you guys have? So the returning Brock Lesnar. Who does he put over on this run?
I mean,
Roman.
I mean, that's the one that makes the most sense to me.
Can I give?
I don't think Roman's not losing yet, unless the Fox or USA execs get too much in Vince's ear, which
I mean, I think
a very real possibility.
I also think a very real possibility is The Rock and Roman.
Here you go.
Oh, that's the big money, but
so that has to happen at Mania, right? But does it need a title to be important?
No,
it doesn't at all.
Yes.
It doesn't need the
title.
Table is bigger than the title.
But is he the head of the table if he doesn't have the title?
But I also I don't think that the match itself should be for the title. I think Roman should still hold the title, though.
So here's my fantasy.
I think it should be for
Mania.
the head of the table, not for the title.
Yes. So the head of the table happens with or without a title, because this is not just the head of the table when it comes to the company. It's the head of the table for their family. So you don't need a title. You can easily switch away from that. I think I'm the badass of the show, and just say I'm the badass of my family. So Brock beats Roman, takes the title from him. He's going into Mania. He's dominating everybody. And what better way to once again long-term storytelling? It happened on TV, then it happened on Talking Smack, and then it got waves on the internet, and all the smart fans start buying into it. Where Kofi was squashed by Brock Lesnar and ruined Kofi Mania. Big E goes on Talking Smack on a publicly show and says, "I think it's bullshit the way this company treated Kofi. I think it's bullshit. A guy comes in and does it to my boy." Big E right now has money in the bank. What better way to put over a brand new upcoming star? Brock Lesnar passes that torch to a Big E and hopefully gets that Drew McIntyre push now that we have a live audience and doesn't get buried by COVID.
And he was allowed to go on the oral sessions.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. I like that a lot. Now we're getting
I like that too.
close to the end of the show here. But speaking of oral sessions, that legitimately gets into my next question.
The best podcast. No offense to anyone here, but she is hands down my favorite podcast to listen to. I think it's amazing.
Oh, dude, no offense at all. My favorite podcast is called Come
I'll
Town.
take it.
So come if you want to fucking listen to a great podcast with three people who truly don't give a fuck about anything, listen to Come Town.
Sorry, trying to distract Isaac.
No,
I'll
I'm
add
asking
my
the next question. I'm asking the question. You can play music all day long. Okay, so if you had to, gun to the head, you had to suck one wrestler's dick.
Oh my goodness, that's where this is going.
That's exactly where this is going. I want to know whose cock you're throating. Shane's not here to stop me. Shane is usually the fucking
But I am.
I can add myself back these days though.
I know it's a fatal flaw in letting you run the show.
It is absolutely a fatal flaw. I mean, I could start it. I mean, and I know I said he's not a wrestler anymore, but I'm gonna just use him because he is The Rock. I mean, come on, Jesus fucking Christ! Just one smile.
You want apple strudel, don't you?
Yeah, dude, I just want to smell what he's cooking. That's all. Okay.
I think me trying to be like, oh, hey, gay bro, and the best way to answer that and still kind of keep my manhood a little is I'd have to pick someone who is slaying a lot of chicks. So at least like there's remnant of some type of vagina. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So like you got to go with like a Flair, a Ziggler, a
Hell yeah.
Michaels,
Ziggler,
you know?
Ziggler is definitely up on that list just because of Sonny. Another one, speaking of Sonny Kiss, like, dude, with that ass, like, you know, like you can almost pretend.
I got a selfie with he keeps at the baseball game.
my wife was watching Dynamite and says, "Holy Hannah, she has the best butt I've ever seen in my life."
It's incredible,
Yeah.
dude. That shit is fucking slamming, dude. Yeah, dude.
I'm going to go for the massive. If I'm going to have a story to tell, I'm going to make it a hell of a story to tell. And I'm going to go with Swoggle.
Oh shit! I thought you were
dude, my brain went the complete opposite. I thought you were going like Andre the Giant.
That was where I was at. I was like, shit, he's going for the biggest fucking
Just
No.
fucking hammer piece just hanging there, and you're just two-handing it.
I'm
Like,
changing mine. I'm changing mine. I'm going dink.
fuck!
Oh,
Get out of my head, man.
DDJ. I want to know DDJ's answer.
Man, I'm so glad I'm in my car and not staying in my house where my wife could potentially hear this.
So don't add her to the stream.
Oh,
My bad.
man. Wow. So I just come from like the most fun softball game I've ever been to. Just like coming to hang out with my guys. Never did I expect that they would have to answer a question like this. So
Yeah. So whose dick are you sucking?
Yeah, whose dick are you sucking?
You're circling, man. You're circling.
does it have to be like a real one?
I mean, you're not
Could I
gonna
say,
really
like,
suck.
Can I say something along the lines of like, yeah, if you slap a strap on, say, let's just
No,
for
it's got to be.
No,
It's
'cause-
got to be flesh. It's
No,
gotta be
because
flesh.
that's the next question.
Jade Cargill.
Yeah, man. Wow.
He's just all right. Wait. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
No.
Man.
Bray Wyatt.
No, I don't. I don't know. He doesn't look like the kind of guy that takes care of himself.
All right, we're gonna answer for you. It's gonna be Jake the Snake.
Oh hell yeah!
All right, so he's gonna be
God,
throwing the.
who knows where that thing's been?
Yeah, you're gonna be going down on Damien, buddy.
Oh God.
Oh shit!
I took on for this.
Yeah, you did. Well, I'm skipping right to the last question because we're right here at the end.
Hey, I never even gave
Oh
mine.
shit, that's right.
Yeah.
I thought you got excited about the idea of Dink, and then I want to know. Yeah, I want to know who Joe Joey K's giving the old premiere to.
I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. Probably fucking Giant Gonzalez. I want to see what he's packing. I'm not even gonna fucking.
I guarantee you, it's exactly the same as that muscle suit. The thing he's hiding, he's packing the world's tiniest bird.
He has hair on the top of it, like all like a caterpillar.
It's all fur and a tiny little bird.
Hey, I like, look, man. I'm getting older. I got a bad hip. I can't get down on my knees. At least I'm fucking like.
There you go.
Probably too.
Dude.
So I got a game plan a little bit.
Legit.
Know what I'm getting into. And plus, I'm not. Everybody's this is giant hog, dude. I'm not trying to fucking gag and choke, man.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah, I get you.
Hey.
I mean, who am I kidding? You know, I'd fuck them all, whatever. So last but not least, because DDJ was brought it up, you know, which female wrestler would you let peg you?
I mean, stick up my answer, Jade Cargill.
Yeah, mine is fucking any of them, honestly. But I think like going back, like God, Luna Vachon, how much fun would that be?
Oh no, that's gonna be
Get her. Remember when she had fucking Gold Dust with the leash? That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel like if I pick Jade, even if I try to back out, there's no chance I can.
You're gonna get fucked, boy. You're gonna get fucked.
You getting fucked.
You're gonna squeal like a pig.
Yo, I actually, if you have time, I have one last question because it's going to be pretty big this weekend.
I would love.
We'll ask it, but we got to get through this question first because I haven't heard everybody's answers.
Yeah. Strap-ons first.
Man, I this is such a tough call because do you go like the Jade route where it's just like, man, even if I'm not into it, it's probably happening, so I'm taking it.
Well, that's the thing with Luna Vachon too. Is like,
like let's not forget she's from a family.
This is a horrible idea because Jade has tons of stamina. I bet.
Oh, China is another one because she could peg you without a strap on.
I want someone with not good cardio so it gets done quicker because you can't wait for them to finish. It's a strap on.
Oh, come on, dude! You can't. Yeah, that's true.
So
that's
what's
true.
Man,
what did you say? Yeah, I'm curious.
Are you referring to what's a thing? Someone that doesn't have a lot of stamina?
No.
You know what? Okay, I got an answer for this one.
Yes.
I go, and this is going to be really off the wall, but I go with this because she just strikes me as someone that would be way too nice and take it easy on me. I'm going to go with Leva Bates.
Someone tweet his wife.
Yo, I'm getting on it right now.
So what you're saying is you're looking for like that gentle cuddling to go along with it. I mean, I feel like that would happen.
Just to reach around.
No, but let's be honest. DDJ, you are one of the sweetest human beings I've ever met, and that makes perfect sense. No, you seem like a cuddler.
So who's cleared your path, Dozer?
The bunny.
Oh, that's a good pick.
That's a solid pick.
All right.
I'm going old school though because I didn't throw mine in there.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm gonna go Missy Hyatt just for the fact that, like, you know, growing up, I probably slapped the ham about 330 times to her. So
yeah,
you know, like I feel like I owe something back. You know,
I tried to get her on Such Good Shoot, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that right now." And I'm like, "Well, I'll message you back." Because all I really want is, I just want to fucking. I mean, I watched enough of her OnlyFans and shit, and then she's got the porno that she did where she gets dick down on the couch and does anal. Oh, it's great, dude! It's fucking awesome.
Who are we talking about again?
Sunny.
Oh,
all right, gents. I just got home, so I'm bowing out, man. So y'all have a good night.
All right, tell
brother.
the missus that we said hi and that you want to get pegged.
Yeah.
I
was at a show. I was at a show she was just at, Sonny.
So.
Oh yeah, and also have fun explaining the whole Damien thing.
Yeah, I don't think we're even going to talk about that. That's going to be one of those things that gets.
We're going to talk about it
later.
We're going to talk about it forever. Love you, brother. Have a great
t-shirts,
night.
Later, brother.
T-shirts. All right. So we have one more question here from Anthony. What you got?
All right. So this weekend, We're all in. We're all out. I don't know. We shake it all about. We have a lot of free agents. Names are available. Who is showing up at this pay-per-view? And do we get more than one name that drops?
Oh, you know what? Honestly, I think it's a bad idea to bring anybody in and take any sort of shine off trying to bring people on to whatever CM Punk and Darby Allin are going to do. I think put the focus of that whole show. I mean, CM Punk, like, if you're not going to put anything behind him now and you're going to try and just like so quickly bring someone else in, it just doesn't seem like the right timing to me. But at the same time, I also am a grumpy old bastard, so like I can't pay attention to more than one thing at once. That's my opinion. But I mean, I do see Daniel Bryan showing up.
There it is.
Just because it's Daniel Bryan as Tony Khan, and
yeah, because they were supposed to do New York, but now they're getting worried with maybe possibly having a lower capacity people, so they want to push up to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but I would think you would think that they would want to try and get it on their their Friday show that they're trying to fucking pump up ratings for. That or
you never know. They may. We don't know.
Yeah, but do you get into like that rut of like, okay, I'm only watching Rampage because I want to see who shows up next.
It's the only reason
you're watching.
Yeah, true. It's all about putting asses in seats. I'll hit mine real quick. The Daniel Bryan one I think is the obvious choice, but I would not be surprised to see Adam Cole show up. Especially with Andrade versus mystery opponent.
He doesn't have a no compete.
He is free.
Oh, because he had been on a fucking just
short-term
extension.
Yep. So
that wouldn't have mattered because his contract ended.
Yeah. He
ended.
didn't ask for an early release or anything. So
they should have released him the day before. Gotcha for 90 days. But
I think they could only keep it till what would have been the natural end of his contract, because it's happened with other wrestlers.
Yeah, and I think you can opt out of the 90-day package, but you just don't get paid for 90 days. So I think a lot of people get a big check in those 90 days, and that's why they stay in there.
Has Cole ever wrestled Punk?
Well, boy, do I want to see that.
Yes.
So here's my lock of the night. You can say this is 100% happening, and it's not any of the names anyone said. I think we get a brand new Joker in the all-women's battle royale, and I believe Ruby Soho is going to show up at the pay-per-view.
Okay,
yes. I've heard of that being so much luck, I didn't even consider.
Yeah.
A surprise.
But you also have some interesting things with that battle royal as well. Do you pull out some more guns and really show, hey, we have a fucking women's division here and we're going to show it off at this battle royal? Because you have names that's still floating out there. You have names like Mercedes Martinez. You have the new what are they called now? Not the Iconics.
The Iconics.
Yeah, but Inspiration.
God damn.
Inspiration.
That Instagram post or Twitter post they dropped. Oh,
actually, they have a very good podcast too. Their podcast is very entertaining. Offer Chops. I enjoy it. Or you have possible Tessa Blanchard, who's been training and trying to get back into ring shape. So it's very interesting to see who can have who could show up there. You have Buddy Murphy, who's now free, and you have Braun Strowman, but I don't think Braun Strowman's coming there. But
everyone's saying he's going to TNA, right?
Yeah.
Which is funny, which is honestly is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
After his big fucking stinky pouty fucking thing about I'll never wrestle anywhere but WWE.
Yeah,
and then to go to TNA.
The indie guys should fucking go get a real job.
Oof.
Yeah.
TNA now is probably at some of the best it's ever been, but even still,
that's because my boy's about to win that world title.
If we're predicting random appearances at All Out, I think they're finally going to get a new ref.
Chris Levin.
No, I think the Young Bucks are going to hire their boy Drake Wirtz.
Oh, fuck out of here. I thought you were going Mike Chioda. I was like, damn, did he tell you something?
If AEW hires any refs in the world right now, the two that are on or three on my radar have to be fucking Chris Banks, Chris Levin, and Ref Gina. They're fucking.
They need, honestly.
They need refs that can actually
This
count
is
to five
something
occasionally.
that we talked about when we talked with Mike Chioda is they need him. They need Mike Chioda to be in there. He doesn't need to work any matches. He just needs to train the refs how to be referees. Because fucking A, dude, the man was trained by fucking Gorilla Monsoon and Gorilla Monsoon's son to be a referee. Like if
I had Mike
anybody
Chioda twerking in the ring. Well, I tried to get Mike Chioda to twerk in the ring, but he didn't do it.
Dude, he's fucking cool as hell. I want to get fucking hammered with him. That was a really fun interview.
He has a really intense voice if you never heard it before.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
So Jersey.
Oh my god, I love it. He's got
45 cigarettes.
He's got a great voice.
I listened to him on Chris Van Fleet, and I was not expecting that voice out of him.
Yeah. If you guys haven't, anybody watching, if you haven't listened to our interview yet, go back. It's on YouTube. It's on all of your audio.
It's on your
podcast. Audio catchers. But
podcast.
I'm not gonna spend any more time promoting my shit. I want you guys to promote your stuff. The Premier Joey K, you and DDJ, you have a show. I want you to talk a little bit about shooting shit.
Yeah. So we just dropped this past week on Tuesday, very first episode. It's still getting out there. You can find it on Spotify.
What's it called again?
Breaker. Called Shooting Shit.
Shooting Shit.
Look at that. Oh my god.
We got the overlay in here. All right.
Look at this guy.
I'm sorry, we don't have that for you.
That's all right.
It's a fun show. It's a collection of us. We've been friends for a little while now, and finally the timing and the stars align. We got to get together, and we have a great. It's a little bit of a roundtable discussion. We hit some new stuff, current stuff. We hit some old stuff. Specialty. I know we did our very first. We just did a little bit of a test run for SummerSlam weekend. We all do the hot takes of who's Mr. SummerSlam. We all know who Mr. WrestleMania is, but who's Mr. SummerSlam? And what was the best match from Backlash 2007? Like the shit that you never knew you wanted to know, and you might not. You're gonna want to know it. So we're having a good time. It's we're already though. We're looking for time for recording this week just because the boys are in Chicago for All Out weekend.
Crazy
so
bastards.
Yeah, so they're having
DDJ, dude, son of a bitch, dude.
The luckiest
for a guy who wants, dude, for a guy who wants to suck Jake the Snake's cock.
Clearly said that too.
That's how we won.
Oh, but dude, no, he fucking got. And you know what? I don't care. I don't give a fuck, dude. He got, because karma is one of the most beautiful things in the universe. Karma is a gorgeous, fucking beautiful, sexy, big-titted bitch with a tight little snatch. DDJ,
big tits, yes, but Karma, I don't think I had to tell you anything.
Dude, she's got a tight little snatch because she will fuck you if you don't watch out. And she did her thing, and DDJ got a fucking suite. What a suite. A legit, a real suite. Not some fucking made up shit. He won a real suite All Out, and fucking nobody.
Won it?
Yeah, he won it from, what was it, Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yep.
They did. How much I fucking spent on that website? They owe me a fucking suite.
Yo, he fucking he won the contest. They called him up, and honestly, I can't think of anyone more deserving of it. He lives in the area, which is great, but goddamn, dude, I was so stoked for him. He's gonna have so much fun. So I'm glad that you guys are still gonna be able to find some time to record. But yeah, he's
the boys are gonna have a great weekend. They're already at the softball game tonight, so they're having the time of their lives out there. I know Jovan too. Jovan's in the fucking specialty seat, take home seat section. So DDJ's in a suite. Jovan's got a fucking collector's chair to take back home to Texas.
He should
like,
fucking grab
God
that chair and bring it up to the suite and hang out and get some food.
I'm just saying that fucker better buy me a shirt because if
Yeah,
not, I'm
at
gonna
the
be
very
real,
least.
real salty.
At the very least, man, shit.
Yeah.
All right. So shooting shit, part of the Johners Podcasting Network.
Absolutely.
Anthony, what you got, man? I want to hear you plug your shit.
I do a ton of podcasts, but the only one that probably you guys care about is Tornado Tag Podcast. And I recently just joined the network. Very excited to be a part of this team, and that's how I was able to jump in here. Like I'm just some stranger coming in. But yeah, the Tornado Tag Podcast, we've been going for about 3 years now.
Yes.
Just started as a bunch of friends talking in a kitchen, and one of the people on the panel is a local independent star, Andy Header, and he trained Chikara, got to wrestle some pretty cool names. He's been doing it for I think about 15 years. But yeah, so we've been doing it about 3 years now. Got to do some cool opportunities. I help with the production of Camp Leapfrog. I also do some commentary in our local promotions in the area, and it's all because of podcasts and people supporting and putting our name out there. So very, very grateful for any new listeners, and I'm excited to be part of the network and meeting great people like you.
Outside of wrestling, you do other podcasts outside of the whole wrestling thing?
Yeah, so I have I have my own network called the IWEP Network. So I do an interview show where I just talk to random people or anybody and just learn about their story and learn about them. So it's like best way to describe it is Joe Rogan, but not with celebrities. It's just everyday people.
What about the kratom? You still got kratom?
What do you mean?
Kratom, like the fucking herb that's supposed to cure all your shit.
Yeah. That and DMT. We do it all the time.
DMT and kratom. Yeah.
What's the new stuff that they're taking? The horse tranquilizers or whatever?
Yeah.
They're shooting horse semen in their veins.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And then I do a show called Bang and Beers Podcast. We review craft beers, mostly in the Pennsylvania area, but all over. I do a one. Yeah,
bro. You know that I went to fucking graded school with Sean Hill of Hill Farmstead Brewery.
Really?
Yeah, dude. When I ran my food truck, I fucking parked it in the brewery parking lot.
That's sick.
My dad is a newspaper writer, and like when Sean before he even opened his brewery, he did like an article on him, and like brought me up there and we're drinking. I was like, this is fucking pretty good.
Dude, we used to open new podcasts at breweries, and they're just like I'm like, just give me 4 of your beers. We'll talk about it. They're like, oh, so you want all 16 of our beers? And I'm like, are you driving me home?
Yeah, dude, especially out in the middle of nowhere in Vermont, dude, to get up to a hill is like, you're driving. Yeah. That's awesome, man. That sounds really interesting.
I do one called Not Cool in High School. That's like pop culture, movies, television, comic books, just all that news. And then the newest one that we're bringing back, it was there for a while, but I couldn't do it with working my jobs I worked, is Truth Behind Illusion. And that one's like cryptids, conspiracies, ghosts, goblins, demons, all that fun stuff.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, I like this. See, I'm glad you didn't just stick to the wrestling, because I'm actually more interested in the other stuff than the wrestling. Because I'll be honest, like I like wrestling, but I don't know anything about it. I host a wrestling podcast, but it's just an excuse for me to do drugs.
Oh, out of everyone who's on my podcast with me, I'm the least knowledgeable. Like the two guys I work with are fucking encyclopedias.
Awesome. Well, that's like DDJ, dude, the wrestling Rain Man. So Dozer, do we have anything to plug?
Well, Patreon? I was going to plug the Diz Idiots every Tuesday at 9:05.
Yes, Diz Idiots.
Diz Idiots. We have news from around the world. Disney World, yeah. And generally just a bunch of other nerdy non sequitur bullshit. I think next week we're talking about What If.
And I'm going to plug Cumtown. Go check out Cumtown. If you're easily offended, I didn't send you. But Nick Mullen is a comedic genius. And if you want to hear him do songs about sucking dick, it's a show. It's a show about this is their description of it. It's a show about being gay with your dad. So on that note, I think Dozer, you wanna do the outro? I did the intro, so you can do the outro.
Oh my god! I literally just drove that road. Underneath all that water is a road. I just drove that like 3 weeks ago.
The John.
Yeah, there is no Vine Street Expressway right now. But until next time, we have been such good shooters.
Whoa.
He's Isaac.
Yes.
He's A. Blackwell Jr. He's the premier Joey K. And I'm Dozer with way too much fucking echo.
Yeah, dude, he's currently
Thank you for listening to this edition of Such Good Shoot. If you are on YouTube, please remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon. Or subscribe to us on your favorite audio catcher. Or finally, if you're on Facebook, leave a comment, like the video, and make sure to share it out to all your friends. Until next time, we have been Such Good Shoot.